Hi, compassionate and heart-centered leaders. In the previous episode on how to make a successful career transition, we talked about the phases of transition, the difference between transition and change, and the skills needed to go through the transition journey. If you are at the stage when you feel stuck and that something needs to change, this video is for you. We'll talk about 3 mistakes that heart-centered and compassionate leaders make, what keeps them stuck, and most importantly, how to move on with confidence and ease. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to this channel, hit the bell button to get notified for new episodes each week. I'm Maria Neizvestnaya, founder of Executive Craft, and welcome to my channel, a place for heart-centered leaders. As leadership and executive coach, I am passionate about emotional intelligence, mindfulness, and transformational leadership training. My clients gain confidence, increase influence, and become fully empowered. Are you ready to elevate your leadership? So here we go. Mistake number 1. Waiting, and some more waiting. So, let's say you started to listen to that transition voice, but then anxiety kicks in. What will I do? Where will I go? Whom will I be? Soon after anxiety kicks in, avoidance comes right along with it. They are best friends. You stop exploring possible options and spending energy on designing your future, and instead, you avoid it altogether. You take the wait and see what happens approach. What will happen each day, each month, and maybe even each year is nothing. True, you'll stay busy, but you wouldn't experience the full transition your heart is calling for. Here are some unhelpful avoidance strategies that I have unfortunately used myself, but now help my clients with. Unhelpful spirituality. You know, it hurts to name it because spirituality can be such a powerful source of strength for compassionate and heart-centered leaders. The spiritual aspect of life is very important to me and it's essential to my work. But unfortunately, it also can be a huge hindrance. For example, endless affirmations that aren't supported by committed actions. Other practices of attracting something in your life that don't include any effort on your part. Relying on higher powers only to resolve your dilemma. Unhelpful gratitude, telling yourself, I should be grateful for what I have and not want more or ask for more. Again, all these practices can be helpful if you take consistent action in the direction you want to go. There is a difference between going with the flow of life and drifting along, getting carried away in different directions in different ways. Think about the ocean. You don't want to just wait for a wave to take you wherever it's heading. You want to use the power of the wave to move around and have fun by paddling and taking actions to move in the direction you want to go. There are times when life presents us with opportunities and all we have to do is say yes. But this isn't always the case. At other times, we just need to go for it. We need to take risk, enter the spotlight, initiate, and even nominate ourselves. For my female leaders out there, the secret is in the balance. Access both your feminine and masculine power. It's not either-or situation. It's okay to utilize both. The trick is knowing when and how to utilize which. So, if you're doing the inner work only and waiting for the things to happen, you'll probably get frustrated when you don't see any results. The lack of progress is a sign that you need to balance the inner work with taking consistent actions, making requests, and pedaling in the direction that you need to go. Start taking consistent actions, and both resources and people will begin to align with you. Let's talk. How do you know that it's time to make a transition? Post in the comments below. Second mistake, listening to the self-doubt voice and overthinking. In times of transition, the self-doubt voice will grow from background noise to the opera prima, and you'll hear it loud and clear. It's totally normal, especially if you associate your self-worth with your results. During all 3 phases of transition, it will loudly demand your attention and present you with different catastrophic scenarios of what will happen as you undertake this new challenge. Self-doubt will make you compare your journey of constant struggle to those who have seemingly led easy and effortless lives. Remember all the other people ghosts from imposter syndrome episode? Thank this part of yourself for sharing all this important and valuable information and carry on. Instead of straying from your path, learn to adjust your expectations and take it one step at a time. Remember, transitions take time. If you're planning on starting a new business or changing your career and have no idea where to start, great news! Not knowing is the start. Instead of judging yourself for not knowing and giving up on the idea of starting something new, acknowledge that you are in the research phase. It's totally normal to be clueless at this stage. You'll know more once you start doing your research. Take it one step at a time. Plan your week so you have time for this exploration, which includes thinking and imagining how you'd like your future to be. Then think about strategies and ideas that will bring you there. However, thinking about the future is not enough. After this exploration, you'll test these ideas by developing them, turning them into an action plan, and putting them into practice. This approach is similar to how we do it in research. You don't need to plan for everything, that's not possible. The power of life force will support you, but you need to do your part. There is a difference between just daydreaming about your perfect job and editing your LinkedIn and applying to new positions after you have done your research. A properly done research phase leads to a successful launch into new beginnings, not to overwhelm and discouragement. On to mistake number 3, excessive self-reliance. Finally, another big mistake during the transition is to only rely on yourself. The truth is, no one does it on their own. Even the most capable amongst us have an entire team supporting them. Their family, coaches, teachers, friends, fans, etc. You may have learned to rely on yourself early in your life. You may have learned to provide for others because if not for you, they may not make it. Whether you've learned this fierce independence early or later in your life, you can relearn now. In the times of transition, you need to request support and be ready to receive it. The one emotion that can prevent you from doing that is shame. Once you get to know your shame and are able to recognize it when it arises, it will lose its grip over you and you'll get your inner freedom back. The best way to train is to reach out to the right people when you feel a strong pull to hide away and self-isolate. If you don't have a community of people in your life who will empower you in challenging time, start creating it. Working with a coach and/or mentor during the time of transition is the biggest gift you can give yourself. You can also reach out to people who have recently gone through a similar process. Their story will inspire your own journey. Through my multiple transitions in life, including starting anew in the United States, I have learned that the more you practice navigating the ups and downs of the transition process, the more you learn about it and yourself. The more you know about both, the easier it is to go through it. If you're in transition currently and it feels like a struggle, train to embrace the process. There is nothing wrong with you. You are simply being courageous and intentionally or unintentionally live in safety and familiarity for a new adventure. This is a precious time in your life. Keep moving forward one step at a time. If you are in a leadership position and know that you need help and support in the transition process, I invite you to connect and book a free one-on-one discovery call with me. You don't have to do it alone. Allow yourself to get support during the transition phase. Let's dive into specifics of your goals and aspirations and, of course, how to achieve them. We'll assess 5 key areas: your self-regard, stress tolerance, emotional regulation, assertiveness, and influence, to create an action plan for each of them. To apply for the call, click on the link in the description or go to executivecraft.com/apply and choose the time in my schedule that works for you. If you enjoyed this episode, please give it a like, help us spread the message, and share it with other heart-centered and compassionate leaders. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's episode. Hit that bell button. Have an exciting week, and I will see you soon. Bye-bye.